Alright guys, how's it going? Suppose I need to say, I think, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday to me. Probably be bloody Easter before I put another one out. I'm just going to shut this door because I'm getting a breeze through it. Getting a blow through in the garage, and it's... might as well top up my beer while I'm here as well. Okay. So, for once, I've actually got 2 beers on tap in the kegerator, which is good. I've got my odds and sods stout, which was literally just a use up of a load of speciality grains, and it's actually turned out really fucking good. There was a load of roasted barley in that, loads of flake barley, and loads of caramel, and it's actually come out to be pretty bloody good beer. Even if I do say so myself, and I bloody do. So, cheers. I'm not going to bother apologising for not doing videos for ages because I'm a nightmare. Just, you know, it's like life gets in the way, doesn't it? Wife, kids, job. You know how it is. Anyway, I need to start off with bit of a downer. I know it's probably old news now really, but I just want to on camera acknowledge Jim Payne, the old fart. Cheers Jim, who unfortunately passed away a couple of weeks ago, and I was really upset actually. I actually cried, not like, you know, burst into, fell on the floor weeping my heart out, but I shed a few tears over it. My wife was like, "You alright?" And I was like, "I don't know, see, he just felt like he was such a huge part of this community." I mean, his videos are just brilliant, he's hilarious, and like with all brew tubers that I've met, everyone's exactly as they are on camera. Nobody puts on an act or a show or a persona for their YouTube videos. We'll just sit here and chat like, you know, having a pint with mates, isn't it? Which is kind of what we need to do, because, you know, I don't know many friends that homebrew. So that's why we go online and we do these videos and we talk, because that's how we, you know, how we make homebrewing friends and exchange recipes and beers and all the rest of it. So I can only imagine that he was just so much fun to be around. You know, he was a great dad and granddad, I'm sure of it. And just a massive loss to everyone in his life. Honestly, yeah, actually really gutted about it. You know, when Stratton died, of course it was sad, but I didn't know the guy really, I didn't really watch his videos. With Jim, I felt like I knew him so well, even though we'd never met in person. He would always take the time to reply to any comments I left on his video, and yeah, damn shame. So, any roared up, cheers old fart, and let's go on to something a bit more, oh, actually before I go on to that, so I'm sure there's a link on the BrewTube official Facebook group, but basically Jim's family, bless them, first of all they invited like everyone on BrewTube to come along to this funeral, which if it wasn't, you know, wasn't several hundred miles away for me, I would have actually gone, but I can't get the day off work anyway, which is a shame, but it would have been a bit too far to go really to not really know anyone, although I'm sure they would have made me feel more than welcome. But anyway, there is basically a club that Jim used to do a lot of work for. They do charity, they're like a charity club, and they help out disadvantaged people in the local area and that sort of stuff. Basically there's a fundraiser on, there's a link on BrewTube official. So I would just pledge, you know, I think his son said, you know, buy dad one last beer, you know, that the cost of a pint of beer, if you can donate, that would be great. So I've donated already. If you want the link or anything, give me a shout in the comments or send me a Facebook message or something, and I'll let you know. Anyway, so on to other stuff. I've obviously not done any videos for bloody ages, so there's quite a lot going on. full steam ahead for Horwood stock. Number 3. I've barreled my first beer, a nice, kind of done a rough Innis & Gunn kind of clone. So I've kind of cloned the Innis & Gunn base beer, the normal one that they do. I've got some of those rum cask chunks I got from my friend Martin on there. I swapped him some bourbon chunks. And it's come out at 7.1%, so that's going to be quite a beast. So I'm going to leave it in here. It's basically going to condition it here for 4 months on the oak chunks, or the oak rum chunks. I will add some more rum in if I think it needs a bit more flavour, but I'll see how it goes first. I find with these things, you want a hint of it, but with the Blacktooth Grim, for example, I mean, that was a dark stout, the Blacktooth Grim, very dark, and I think you got plenty of bourbon off that, so I don't want it to overkill. I just don't want it to be like rum in a glass, so I will see how I go with that. I think it's going to be enough, just with that. I don't think it needs any more rum. Time will tell. Plus, to be fair, a bottle of rum in 23 litres is a little bit of a drop in the ocean anyway, isn't it? But, so I digress. I'm not digressing at all. So that's one thing I've done. So I've got all the ingredients now for Horwood stock. It's ridiculous. I'm going to show you now all the grains and what I've done, because I've had to resort out my grain storage as well to make room. So I'll do a little thing and show you all that. Okay, so that's all the grain. So yes, I'm sorting out my grain. So this is Marisol left over from this sack here. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to use all that up in my next brew. That's Carapils or Pilsner malt? Shit, I can't remember. That's Carapils, I think. No. I don't actually know what that is. Oh, there we go. Yes. Carapils. Okay. There's Carapils in there. I've got one of these Northern Brewer kits that I got a little while ago, which I need to brew up. That'll be fine for a little while yet. Just various other bits. Chocolate malt and all my speciality grains are in here, which is good. In this one here, I've got a 25 kilo sack of Marisol, so I'll start on that once I've used the last of it from here. I'm just very conscious that I want to keep all this stuff in plastic tubs because I don't want to attract rodents. It's not good. And then finally, you will remember, this is my firm fridge. You remember my firm fridge, basically the freezer section works, but the fridge doesn't work anymore. So the fridge is now a grain pantry. So I've got, I think I was a bit ambitious. Basically, I can get grain at kind of, I think it's trade prices from Muntons. So this was £14.73, I think it was. So 25 kilos of Pilsner malt, which is pretty freaking awesome. And that's, so that was 14 quid. And then the Marisol were over there. That was 16 quid. 16.33, I think it was. 2 more Northern Brewer kits there. I've got another Northern Brewer kit in that lower one as well. So I've got 4 Northern Brewer kits. 2 25 kilo sacks of base malt. So I'm not going to need to buy malt for bloody ages. And next up is my yeast supply. So I have this little section here on top of the kegerator, so that's quite handy to keep my yeast in. So I've got my Kvike, a couple of brews worth left, but I'm conscious that I want to keep restocking my supplies. So this is from the brew I did that I've just barreled, so I'm going to dry that off once I fix my kegerator. And let's look at my yeast supply currently, because I've got quite a lot in here, which I'm not sure how I'm going to use all this up. Okay, so I've got White Labs Irish Ale yeast. It's basically Guinness yeast, so I'm going to use that for my Hop House 13 clone, plus I'm doing an Irish Red Ale, so I'm going to use it for that. I've got Mango Drax Mangrove Jack's Liberty Bell yeast, which is like SO4 apparently. Got some Nottingham, that came with a Northern Brewer kit. I've never actually used Nottingham before. 4 lots of Belgian yeast that I got from Will, the fermenter, who ended up, basically he stopped selling stuff. So he sent me a load. I bought some hops off him and he ended up chucking in a load of them because they were kicking around. Some SO4, which used to be my go-to yeast, but the Kvike has stolen its thunder. 3 lots of USO5s. A lot of these came with the Northern Brewer kits, and I got a couple more USO5s from Malt Miller when I did my base malt shop the other week. And 5 of these beer yeast. Basically, that is from those brew your own B&M bargain kits. I think every time I use the did the lager one, I did 2 lager ones. I switched out the yeast for something else, and I think I did the same actually with the bitter as well, which was bloody horrible in the end. I've still got some Cross Maloof Belgian ale yeast. I don't really brew Belgian ales, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with 5 packets. So if anyone wants some Belgian ale yeast, let me know and I will just send you some in the post, because I've got loads and I don't need it all. Okay, there we go. So yeah, like I said, the Kvike yeast is kind of the new kid in town, and I'm massively pleased with that. I don't know if you guys have seen the kegerator recently. So I've got Odds and Sods Stout and that Mexican Lager, which is a B&M kit. I've got my warning sign and some motifs from... Get a lot of these from the London Craft Beer Festival. Siren one, I really like that. It's a bit sticky, I can't remember who they are. And I got my sign there, finally up on the pantry. Next thing is new toys. You may have noticed this here. You guess what it is yet? Do you know, it's really sad you can't say that anymore because he's a pedo. Rolf, what are you doing, man? Anyway, reverse osmosis filter. 2. Basically, I made 3 brew year resolutions, I called them. 1, buy less beer. 2, brew more beer. 3, get serious about water treatment. So, I've got a fucking thing up here. You get annoyed. You intend on getting something ready for a video and then you forget. Anyway, right, so I've got this, but I've got the water one as well, basically, for birthday. Yeah, birthday. From my sister-in-law. Which is pretty awesome. So, to be honest, I haven't actually read the bloody thing yet. So, what I've found is that I've been using AMS and CRS, whatever the fuck you call it, for a while now. But the Pilsner I did for the beer festival wasn't very good. And I'm convinced it was the water. The stouts, I brew a lot of stout. And you know, your hoppy beers and stuff like that, you can kind of get away with not a great water treatment because, sorry, bloody hair's a mess. You can mask it with hops or with all the malts and all that. Plus, you know, the water around here is hard as arse. I think my TDS meter was showing about just over 500, which is crazy. So yeah, I've got a TDS meter and a pH meter as well, electronic one now, rather than piss around with this stupid paper. So, yeah, so I brewed this beer with the RO water. So I bought some calcium chloride, some gypsum. Actually, I had some gypsum left over. It was out of date, but I've been looking up, and basically people say it can't go out of date. It's bloody salt. It doesn't go out of date. It's ridiculous. That'll be fine. I'll find out when I drink that beer. So yeah, that's that really. So I haven't really read much of the book yet, unfortunately. But from what I can gather, the easiest thing to do is reverse. That's what everyone's been saying. Reverse osmosis filter, basically strip everything out, and then put back in what you want. That stuff gives you a blank canvas. The great thing as well, which I haven't actually done any for a while now. Actually, I tell you, I've got one on keg. Beer kits as well. Sometimes beer kits just taste a bit naff. I mean, I know beer kits are not great anyway, but I think as well, because you've already got all those minerals in there, and then I'm whacking loads more in. So again, distilled water with mineral with kits would be a lot better. Plus, the best thing is Star San. Oh, tell you what, it doesn't cloud up at all. I got one of them spray things now. It just feels so much better. When you spray something with it, it just feels cleaner. Even as well, like cleaning stuff with the RO water as well. Because my parents have got water softener, so I kind of know roughly what that's like as well. But you just have to use less detergent. It's just brilliant. I love the stuff. So I've got my no chill cube. It's full of RO water. I filled that up this morning, and I've got a Cornelius keg down here, which is also full. So I'm going to brew next weekend. I'm going to do a lager, my Hop House 13 clone. I say clone. I'm roughly going for that style of beer because I don't actually have the recipe at all. I know roughly what hops they use. I know that they use the Guinness yeast, and they use barley, I think, rather than Pilsner malt. So yeah, I think they use, because it's quite dark, so I think they use normal barley rather than Pilsner. So it's almost like a Kolsch, really, I think. So I've got that. I'm going to have that going on, which is good. It'd be side with the first time I've used liquid yeast as well, so that's really good. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how my Pilsners and lagers come out. Like I said, the Pilsner I did, it just didn't get that crispness or freshness of it. It tasted a bit dirty, and yeah, it really wasn't great. So I thought it was really crap, to be quite honest. I was really disappointed with it. That's the first one I've done, so we shall see. But yeah, so I've shown you all my grains, showed you the RO builder, showed you my book, and the other one I said is upstairs. Do you want to see the TDS meter in that? Yeah, okay, I'll show you. Nothing too exciting, these are just off Amazon. So TDS meter, right, if anyone doesn't know what a TDS meter is, because I didn't know, basically TDS stands for total dissolvable solids, and it basically, long story short, tells you how much crap you've got in your water. So like I said, I put this in normally, and it's got about 500, and it's about 5, so basically the higher the number, the more crap you've got. 500. This is the Beer O'Clock Brewing Grider water treatment, by the way. So, like I said, the higher number, the more crap. I had about 500 worth of crap in my normal tap water, just over 500 actually. When I then put it through the filter, tried it again, it's about 20. Mental. And it's weird, like I said, you can just feel the water, and it just feels clearer and thinner, and just, it's crazy. And then the pH meter is fairly straightforward. Yeah, just one of them ones, you can get them on. I looked on wish.com, and funnily enough, they're not actually any cheaper. And the thing I find with Wish is they're cheeky buggers, because if there's something wrong, they'll refund you the cost of the item, but they don't refund the postage. So you send off for a pH meter and you get a blow up doll or something instead that arrives. They don't actually, and they're like, oh, well, actually that was only £2, but we charge you £5 of postage, so you get shafted a bit. So kind of a bit of disillusion with wish.com these days. And I believe AliExpress are very similar. This stout is really fucking good. I need to share the recipe of this, because it's actually really good, and it was just a complete chuck it all together. That's why I've called it odds and sods stout. It's 6% as well, and I love myself a 6% stout, so that's probably another reason why it's a beast. Okay, so we've covered off heaters, water treatment. So how the brewery resolution's going? Well, I've hardly bought any beer this year, and the fact that I've got 2 beers on keg currently should give you some indication, and it's really good. The other thing I want to tell you is I've got something amazing. So there is a guy on BrewTube official. Now, if you're not on BrewTube official yet, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Stop watching this video now and go on there, because it's awesome. So I've got this, and what is that? Anyone want to guess? Go on, guess. Guess. That is Kvike Voss Kvike yeast. And let me tell you now, I'm all about the Voss Kvike yeast right now. Okay, it's the absolute dog's fucking bollocks. I've brewed 2 beers. I brewed this beer with it, and I brewed that one with it, and it literally just fucking tears the arsehole out of your beer. It's amazing. You ferment it at 40 degrees, and it just rips it a new arsehole in a couple of days. You pitch it, and within about half an hour you see activity. By the next day, it was like when you take the lid off a bottle of Coke. It was just like crazy stuff. Just absolutely eats through the yeast like nobody's business. And it flocculates really nicely. It just drops all to the bottom. Crazy stuff. I don't think I'm going to brew with anything else. Well, I am. You'll see in a minute what I'm brewing with. But that is my house yeaster now. So I've done 2 dark beers with it. I want to do a New England IPA with it as well, because it's mega awesome. So anyway, I got this off a guy on BrewTube official. Tamas, his name is? I can't remember his surname. Bloody nice bloke. He literally, I just chucked him £3 for sort of postage and, you know, a little bag, and you know, he's not there to make money, but you know, he's got to cover his overheads, and you know, if he, I think, get the impression he's sent quite a lot of it to people, and you know, he might have made a couple of quid out of it, but it's not exactly get rich quick scheme, put it that way. If he was charging a tenner for it, then, which to be fair, I probably would have paid a tenner for that. Sorry, Tamas, I probably shouldn't have said that. Well, I can say it now because I've already got it. So, you can tell I've had half a beer, can't you? Well, actually, I'll probably have one of these now because I'm a little bit leery. So, Kvike yeast, I'm all about the Voss Kvike yeast right now. I am loving life with that shit. So I've harvested from that beer, and I'm basically just going to keep up a really healthy supply of it, because I just always want to have some to hand. I just keep it in a little Tupperware thing, or weigh out 4 grams when I'm going to brew, and then bam, 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 just chuck it on. Oh, it's incredible. See, ferment at 40 degrees. Brilliant. There is this problem though at the moment. So, I did a brew video of, is it Mines and Sod Stout? Yeah, no, it's the brew video of this. And yeah, no, of course, because that was the last beer I brewed in my firm fridge. So I finally made a shelf for my firm fridge. For ages I had the little plastic bit just turned up, and a couple of wooden blocks that it was horrendous. And you know what it's like, you do these things temporarily, and then a year and a half later you're still doing it. So I did that, and I made a shelf. I cut the holes in it. I mean, it doesn't look fantastic, it's a bit bodged all over the place, but it does the job. It's very practical, it fits, and I'm really quite pleased with myself because I've worked out. Anyway, yeah, so do you know what I'll do? I'll stick that footage in now as well. So if you do watch the brew footage, which I will probably do a grain to glass on that at some point, you can have a look and see what's going on. But you'll get a repeat. But anyway, so here's me showing you what I did with the firm fridge. I've been a busy boy while I'm waiting for the boil to do. Finally sorted out a proper shelf for my kegerator. Yes, it looks a little bit mangled, but it will do the job. So before I used to have this shitty thing, and that would come to about to here, but then the issue I had is that basically it used to come up to sort of under here, and then I had this ridge, so then I had to bulk up the fermenter with wood, and it was just a pain in the arse, and I had to just have the heater sideways on here. So now I've got one bit of wood that goes there, that then makes all this level, and then I put the other piece of wood with the holes to let the heat through, and then I have this little gap where the cord for the tube heater can go, and then obviously when I have the in there, I've got that on a little block, so that's nicely laying underneath, and just as a sanity check, just to make sure it does fit. There we go, look at that. It's a little bit snug, there's a bit of room at the top, but that's all I need really. So I am really happy with that. Oh yeah! Okay, so I took time to do all that, and then I came down. So with the Kveik yeast, you stick it on, you ferment at 40 degrees, which sounds insane, but like that's one of the reasons it just tears through it like anything. So like, you know, I went to check it on the 3rd day, and the temperature dropped massively on my ink bird. You see the ink bird from here? Right, yeah, it's just there. It's turned off at the moment, obviously, because I'm not brewing. I'm not got anything in there. I'm really sorry about that autofocus. I need to try and sort that out because that's really annoying. It must be annoying. People are going woo, woo, woo. It's like you've had too many beers. I just cannot think at the moment. I'm really tired. Okay, so yeah, firm fridge. So what then happened is I noticed that the firm fridge had dropped about 10 degrees overnight, and I was like, oh, okay. Touch tube heater, stone cold. Shit. So I unplugged it, gave it a while, tried it again. Yeah, it's defect. So I went on BrewTube, made a few suggestions. Someone said it might be the thermal fuse, in which case apparently you can open it up and change it. So I might look into that. But again, I just don't have the bloody time to do it now. So it's about 18 quid for a new one, so I might just cough up. It's the one from Toolstation, which a lot of people said was pretty naff. And the fact that I'm spamming it at 40 degrees now probably isn't helping. So I'm going to get myself a new one from Amazon, because Amazon are really good about returns as well. I love Amazon. I know people slay them, but you don't get a lot of time like me to shop around, and they're just, you can just send anything back pretty much, and they just take it back. It's great. So that fucked up, which I was really annoyed about. And then today, so normally I do no chill, but with that, because I'm doing the Kveik yeast, and ideally you want to pitch it at like 40 degrees, I want to chill my water down and pitch it rather than, you know, it getting to 10 degrees and then I have to heat it all the way up to 40. So yeah, I pitch it at 40, so that's fine. So I used my water chiller for the first time in ages, and yeah, not the first time in ages, sorry, because actually I used it for the Odds and Sods Stout as well. So I've used it for 2 brews recently, and I noticed I put it away, and I noticed it was leaking. So what's happened, I mean, it's my own fault for shoddy workmanship in the first place. As you may or may not remember, I made this myself. So what's basically happened, and when I made it, it had a bit of a kink here when I was looping that up to go up here. It's basically snapped. I don't know if you can see from there, but there was basically a hole around here. I can't see it from there, but yeah, and that's leaking. So I'm gonna have to chuck it and make a new one. Fucking annoying. And you know what they say, these things happen in threes, so something else is probably going to fucking break. My Buffalo boiler or something will probably go, which that would actually break my heart if that happened, because I can't afford to buy a new one. at the moment. Never mind. Okay, anyways guys, I'm off. I'm gonna have more of this. And I will see you. Do you know, the funny thing is, one of my brew year resolutions was going to be to post once a month on YouTube. It's March is my first post this year, so I dropped the bollock on that one already. That's probably why I didn't bother to commit to it in the end. So cheers everyone, and hopefully you'll see me a bit sooner then. Like, I'll try and get one in next month as well. Alright. Peace out everyone. Oh, forgot my tagline. And remember, it's not brewed to be looked at.